Hi, Dave from Informed American here. I hope you're having a great day. Today I wasn't even going to come on live. Zach and I recorded the BS pod, which will be posted shortly here, which will air on the Facebook page just a bit later. We had a hilarious time going over the nonsense that goes out there each and every week, looking at the bull crappy stories that are out there. And one of them, I'll give a little hint. One of them involves Andrew Cuomo, who someone we've certainly been poking at for his actions. And then I thought, well, we had the RNC convention. You can see in the title I mentioned the viewership. I will hit that. But then a quote here from the protests and rioting and a bit of violence we're seeing from Kenosha, Wisconsin. This quote from a church just sent me up a pole. I just could not believe what I was reading, and I'd love to get your reaction here as I'm going. I'm just going to go through a couple of things here, so I'd love to know. Just go ahead and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Have you been seeing what's been going on up in Wisconsin? Also, as we're going along, did you see the RNC convention last night? Did you watch any of the stream? Go ahead and give me your thoughts, your feelings, or if you have any questions on anything as we're going. Want to hear your opinion. Your opinion matters to me, and that way we can have a dialogue. So I have a story here from the Daily Mail Online. Kenosha burns as BLM protesters set light to Department of Corrections building and local businesses, while looters run riot in protest of Jacob Blake police shooting. There was a curfew there, but that was obviously not obeyed. And I'm just going to scroll through. There's a couple of pictures here from lots of fires. I mean, a lot of arson going on. Here, that was a fire truck, and certainly this man just giving the bird. Also happening to businesses, and this one here is the Department of Corrections. Large-scale protests going on of the shooting of Blake, which here is a still image of that. I don't want to play that video. He's basically and here's the instance here where he's being tased and walking away. And now the latest is he's alive. Thankfully, he is not dead. Though there was some report this morning coming out that he may be paralyzed, and we don't want to see that. So here are some of the scenes here from what's going on in Kenosha, Wisconsin. There's some riot gear. I heard that the National Guard was called, and here we go again. Wow, look at that. Here's another building just completely. That one's done. There's a parking lot. This is absolutely crazy. I got a story here from Fox News. Kenosha rioters target car dealerships, other businesses in second night of unrest. Look at the aftermath there. If you haven't seen this stuff, it's just absolutely wild. Cars burning. Just going around lighting stuff on fire. Here's breaking into. This looks like a car dealership. Craziness. Here's someone trying to actually put the fire out. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but someone is. At this point, I think that car is. Well, you don't want a fire to rage, but that car is pretty much done. There's some aftermath there. Let me stop that one. So, and on and on and on we go. And look at this. That one's just totally. This is a furniture store. So this is basically, the new Portland, I guess. There's a standoff with police and someone riding a bike. I don't know. And so I guess we pop open the back of some Ford truck or something, or a Toyota truck. Actually, that looks a bit like my Toyota truck, lighting the seat on fire, and there it goes. Now, and so basically here we go again. With the rioting and another police encounter. Now here's the thing: is that this stuff is not going to stop, right? People get arrested. People have interactions with police. They're wanted for whatever they're wanted for. Sometimes they resist arrest, or in this case, he wasn't armed. Blake wasn't armed, but he was being tased and apparently unaffected. I don't know. That was surprising to me. And then, of course, I'm not going to describe the video. You can go. He is still alive, but they shot him some multiple times. And this is just a disaster. And look, if our city is going to burn every time there's an interaction like this with the police, I mean, there won't be any cities left, because we live in a country with 325 million, and unfortunately, these things, they do happen. Now, I want to also, there was I want to mention, here's some of the real damage on the ground. Here's someone who's completely innocent and could potentially have their lives ruined. Here's a Facebook post from the Gravity Gaming Lounge, a place in the area. For those who've heard, we got looted. Everything in the store was taken. And the place was destroyed. For a business that was struggling to get back to normal and pushing through these hard times, we will not be able to come back from this. The damage to our building and the cost to replace the exterior damage, to top it off, replace everything stolen, is going to be catastrophic. As we look to see the total cost at this point, we'll be closing down completely. I want to thank you. So there we go. And so, wishing everyone stays safe. Another business down. And what's left? And, the popular refrain from the very beginning, from the very point we saw when this started in Minnesota, there was, I think maybe the big flashpoint was that one night where they were raiding that super target, looting the super target. And what was the popular refrain from people? They got insurance. I mean, come on. What's the big deal? You pay your premium and it's all good. Yeah, right. Doesn't work that way, and a lot of insurance policies don't cover for like acts of God, like social unrest, rioting, this kind of a thing. It's for more natural events, and there won't. And as a point I've been making, there will be no such thing as insurance if no one will insure a building that it could potentially be destroyed in this manner. So or if they did, the premiums would be outrageous and cost prohibitive. So you'll get places that don't carry insurance because it's too expensive, and if they do carry insurance, it's not covered. So thanks so much. Everything is basically screwed. Now, getting to the title of this video about this BLM supporting church calling for more buildings to be burned. I know it sounds unbelievable, but here's what happened. I want to show you what happened in this. Here's a local church here. The parking lot got lit on fire. Now, that's how you can tell that they're Black Lives Matter supporting church, because they have it right there on their banner. So number of cars destroyed. Now, interesting, just an interesting observation here. The putting out the words didn't save you, did it? This is a vengeful God, unlike, say, the ancient Israelites putting the lamb's blood above their doors so that the angel didn't kill you. That doesn't quite work here. This God is apparently less merciful. And so, I mean, it seems just ridiculous. You would think that, maybe at minimum, maybe supporting the cause would spare you from this damage. But no, that didn't happen. And here we go. What did we see? And it's just too much to believe. And I had to check this thing 3 times from 3 different sources to make sure this quote is accurate. But let's get to it. I highlighted it here for you. Bradford Community Church, which you can see actually in the picture above and in the video I just saw, which sits next to the car lot, did not see damage to its building, but lost its road sign, which read Black Lives Matter on it, in the fire. Here's the quote. Despite this is from the church, guys. Despite the fact that we cannot condone violent response to injustice, we understand and appreciate the anger and frustration that fueled the events of last night. Okay, fine. Church leaders wrote in a Facebook post, and there's a link there. While we are relieved that our church home mostly survived the inferno in the lot next door, we affirm that we would rather lose 100 buildings than one more life to police violence. This is incitement. This is calling for mass violence. This is inciting a riot. We would rather lose 100 buildings than one more life to police violence. And it's basically what I was hinting at a little bit earlier. I mean, then one more life to police violence? Well, first of all, I mean, not to get technical here, but the man who's shot by police, Mr. Blake, he's still alive. People are going to die at the hands of the police. It's just a matter of reality. Rather lose 100 buildings than one more life to police violence. So, since Since people are going to die at the hands of the police, and it's never going to be the case in reality in the world that we live in that someone will not die at the hands of the police, then we need to burn 100 more buildings. I mean, why 100? Why not just burn the whole world down? It is unbelievable, this statement. And it does make you wonder, this is becoming, what's your religion exactly? Where is your faith here? It seems to be this social justice movement has now replaced whatever the faith on your door says it is, and this is basically what you believe in now, and that's fine if that's the case. But then they wonder why people won't go to church anymore. Why? Because they go to a church that says that we'd rather lose 100 more buildings. Guys, there won't be anything left you can fight over the scraps and the rubble and the ash, I guess. And you think there'll be less violence in that situation? This is absolutely absurd from the Bradford Community Church. It is ridiculous. It's irresponsible. It is literally calling for violence in this statement. Because the reality is, people will die at the hands of the police, no matter what utopian society the Bradford Community Church has in mind. This is going to happen, and making that a condition for nonviolence is absurd, and therefore the Bradford Community Church, in my opinion, is calling for violence, rioting, mass burning of buildings. It is completely irresponsible. I'd love to know what you think of what's going on in Wisconsin. I'd love to know what you think about this quote from this church. I mean, it is unbelievable. So I'm just going to pull away from that because it makes me angry to see it. And you might think, well, we supported this movement, and then and those who support this movement came in and torched our parking lot and burned our sign down. And maybe we want to rethink what we're doing here, what we're publicly proclaiming. And no, instead they doubled down on it and said, burn more buildings down. Let's go for it, guys. Unbelievable. Maybe the next thing we'll see is a pastor from the community church out there lighting fires in buildings. Maybe that's the next step. Maybe that's what God and Jesus want to happen. I don't know. This is unbelievable. But I do want to move on to just touch on the RNC. We got a story here from The Hill. Let me pull this up here. First night of GOP convention delivers nearly 6 times more views than start of Democrats event on C-SPAN Livestream. Now, I talked to all of you yesterday, and I guess I downplayed it. I didn't expect there to be. I was looking at the speakers. I said this isn't going to be anything really all that special. But because you want to see the President Trump, there was the McCloskeys, which were interesting because, of course, what they had their interaction there with protesters in the St. Louis area. But here it mentions C-SPAN's. This is, of course, just one measure. But C-SPAN's live stream of the first night of the RNC attracted nearly 440,000 views, marking a substantial increase over the start of the DNC convention, which drew 76,000 views. And then here we are. The numbers, traditional TV says Nielsen 18.7 tuned in, 18.7 million tuned in for the first night of the DNC convention, but it doesn't. But then closing on Thursday with 21.8 million. So I don't think we've had the numbers out yet it'll be released Tuesday afternoon. So we'll see what traditional TV did for the RNC. Are you guys watching? Did you catch any of the live stream yesterday or the broadcast rather of any of the speeches? Did you think anything was particularly powerful? One of the things I heard potentially is that the tone of the RNC hit a little bit better. And I to be honest, I only really just caught a couple of glimpses of it. And as much as I follow politics and current events and news, I just don't really want to sit there for 2-3 hours watching speeches, and I suspect maybe that some of you feel the same. But at least by the measure on C-SPAN, there's more of an interest in the RNC convention, at least by just that one measure. So with that, I will leave you. I encourage you all to go to informedamerican.com. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up there on the like and share this content to anybody in your group so that they can get this video as well. I would really appreciate it if you would do that. Of course, head on over to informedamerican.com and also keep a lookout for the BS podcast with me and Zach later today. Thanks so much for watching.